Yeah.
It's finally great to have a GOAT,
the three-time Super Bowl champion,
to have a conversation
Hall of
with.
Famers. You the GOAT. I mean, we let's start it
Jerry
here
Rice.
because there's a lot of places to go.
Right.
Jerry, well, you jumped in.
I'm sorry about that.
Jerry Rice. He needs no introduction.
Yes.
Who was a few weeks ago? Robert Kraft, who obviously is biased.
Yeah.
He said Tom Brady's the greatest football player ever.
Right.
I said, for me, and I want your definition. We'll get to the quarterback, but when I think of football player, obviously everybody's doing different things. You're not tackling and so on.
Yeah.
But I gotta see a guy who's got the athleticism where I can envision him tackling, blocking, catching, running, doing the things that a football player does. So I said, to me, it's you, Lawrence Taylor, or Jim Brown. What is that a good definition for the greatest football player, or what do you think of when you think greatest football player?
I think we're all going to be compared for one thing, and the thing is, though, I like to look at this as being like it's a fraternity of GOATs. Okay. You look at football, you look at basketball, you look at all the different sports. There's a fraternity and stuff like that, the greatest of all time. Now, here's the thing, the little kicker, too. Even as a doctor, lawyer, the greatest of all time.
Right.
So we're always going to have that comparison, but the thing is that when I played the game, I love playing the game. I enjoyed those double days, being in full pass, doing training camp and getting myself ready, for the season. And I always wanted to go out and just play my best football.
I'm not asking you to rip on Tom Brady. That's not what I'm talking about.
No.
But I consider Joe Montana the GOAT when you talk about quarterbacks. He was 4-0 in the Super Bowl, 11 touchdowns, no picks, won 2 Super Bowls with you, won 2 Super Bowls without you, one with 2 different coaches. I mean, what didn't Joe Montana do? And 2 of those Super Bowls, he needed a touchdown, not a field goal to win, and he got them.
Yeah, I think the thing about Joe, it was his calmness. If we had time on the clock, we knew that he could lead us downfield and win that football game. But, you look at Tom Brady, it's the same thing. It's a different era now, guys. It's totally different than when we played the game. And with the run-pass option, what's happening? The ball is in the air more. I probably had the opportunity to see the ball like maybe 5, maybe 7 times through a ball game. Now these guys,
it's him 25.
It's crazy.
7 targets a game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Some
now.
guys are getting 18, 19 targets a game.
Yeah, it was so funny, too, because I saw this picture, and it said the greatest of all time. And I think it was like 3 quarterbacks, and guess it was a receiver. That was on there. Right? That was on there.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's just like I sometimes I have to pinch myself because it's almost like, God, you know what? I guess I did okay.
Hey, your stats are unmatched. Your stats are unmatched.
We had Michael Irvin on, and he said you are the greatest receiver of all time.
No doubt about it.
He says what I tell people is it's ending with that ICE, but then you start with the MICH. With him as number 2.
He is funny.
Who's the greatest football player ever?
Jim Brown.
Yep, I knew he would say that.
I would no hesitation.
Because you being humble.
Yeah. No. I would say Jim Brown. I love Walter Payton too. You know what I'm saying?
He was a
it was like, it's one of those things. That's why we need this fraternity, man. We got to get this fraternity. And I was asked also about Element. With what he's doing, during the playoffs and stuff like that. I said, you got to start looking at these slot receivers now and say, hey, look, these guys are putting up outstanding numbers. Welker, Amendola, all of these guys. And you guys start considering, to consider those guys for, the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Only reason that he picked Jim Brown is because he starred in that movie with Raquel Welch.
It's the Odd Couple. We are joined by 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame wide receiver, arguably the GOAT, Jerry Rice. So when you look at you mentioned the eras. Do you sometimes wish, I know you obviously are happy that you played in your era, but what you might do
now if you got
nowadays,
the ball this much,
your numbers were prolific
and they can't hit you. They can't hit you the same.
Talk about when you were a receiver.
I got hit on
when
the backside. The ball was not even coming my way. I was getting hit.
Right.
If you went across and if you made an effort to catch the football, you were going to get hit. And you had to watch linebackers when you were coming across the middle of linebackers taking shots at you.
Right.
So it's like the game is, I would say it's a safer game now. They're protecting players, but I love the era that I played in. I just can't see myself playing now in football.
Now, can you imagine Ronnie Lott in this era?
No,
he couldn't have been a Ronnie Lott.
No, he couldn't survive.
But you do understand, like, as football goes on, future-wise, a lot of parents are concerned. They don't want their kids to play football, CTE. So you do get why, right?
Yeah, I realize that. But I always thought of football as being a gladiator sport.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, and I was willing to take that risk. I understand what parents are thinking now with their kids. I understand what the league is trying to do by making the game safer and all that. But it's still football. You know, people going to get hit and people going to get hurt.
Your son Jerry Rice Jr. played and was in the NFL moment for a short moment with the Redskins. If you have younger kids, because we've talked to several NFL players who are saying they really don't want their sons to play. They're younger than yours. Yours is an adult now. But would you, if you had little boys coming up, would you encourage them to play football? How would you look at it?
Like I said, I think it's safer now than when I played it. My son, he wanted to play. I supported him 100%. I remember when I wanted to play, my mom said, hey, look, it's too violent. I don't want you to play football. But it was something that I really loved doing. And she got a chance to witness, so many great Super Bowls and stuff like that. And, I think we all know we take a risk, when you play this sport. But, it's something that I really got a lot of enjoyment out of it and something I wouldn't go back and change.
You mentioned Super Bowls. What, do you have a favorite one? I know one you've won 3 times. You know what I mean? They're all great. But do you have one moment?
Super Bowl 23 when Joe Montana came into the huddle, and we had about 3 minutes, 10 seconds to move the ball all the way downfield. And we were behind, and one mistake, ball game is over. And Joe came in, he called 2 plays. We broke the huddle. Everything went completely quiet. I couldn't hear the crowd. I couldn't hear anything. And I just knew the importance of making every catch. And it's like you in that zone, and everything slows down a little bit. You see that rotation on the ball. And just to be in that and still watch John Taylor make that catch, and all of a sudden you hear the cheers. It's just something I'll never forget.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
That is big. Rob and I talk about this all the time when we compare Brady and Montana, and he talks about Montana obviously being 4-0 in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Brady 5-3. Which would you rather be? Would you rather be able to say you were undefeated in the Super Bowl but you only won 4, or you went to 8? And you won 5, but you lost some too.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys. I had the opportunity to win 4, and it hurt me the most when I lost when I was with the Raiders against Tampa Bay, and that
hurt more than the victories. Because you enjoy the victories.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's something I'll never forget. Because here's the deal. Everything I worked for, it was to get to the Super Bowl. All the sweat, the tears, and everything. Then to actually have that happen where you lose a ball game, now you still got to be that professional. You still got to deal with the media. You still got to deal with your family and stuff like that. So I didn't go to San Diego to lose. And I'm sure it's the same way with the Rams being here. Yes, when it comes to experience, I would say the Patriots. But still, with the Rams, they deserve to be here. Who thought that Clemson would beat Alabama?
And beat them the way that they beat them.
And so this is not a shoe-in. It's like players got to realize that, hey, now with just say New England, these guys don't gotten a lot of opportunities. But say the Rams, they might not ever get back to this.
You don't know, right?
Look at Atlanta.
That's right.
The Falcons.
That's right.
You know
Carolina.
What I'm yes, exactly. Yeah. So you got to take advantage of that.
It ain't automatic.
So you've been walking around this whole facility with these 2 big bottles of Hennessy.
Sir.
One you can leave here with me. No?
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you guys, when it's all said and done, and I'm done, talking about football and talking about Hennessy. Hennessy has a variety of cognacs, and cognac is a brandy, and it's made in Cognac, France. And the thing is, over 250 years, they have celebrated this with their customers, and they have that never stop, that never settle attitude. And that's why I'm with this, because I never stop and I never settle. And, for the big game coming up, probably Hennessy on the rocks or Hennessy XO. XO,
that's what I got over here, right?
Hey, but it's extra old, brother.
Is that for me?
It's all that experience and stuff like that.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. So you can go to Hennessy.com/US.
Do they have a senior discount when I order?
Oh, yeah, man. So I can't wait to put this on, after this, just, Hennessy on the ice and stuff like that. And I'm sure whoever wins that football game, they're going to be toasting with Hennessy.
With some Hennessy.
Hey,
the
man,
great Jerry Rice. We appreciate it. Good to see you. I hadn't seen you since back at the old place.
I know,
that's right, the old days.
Hey, we keep going.
We keep moving.
No matter what.
Hey, we're here, bigger and better.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I appreciate it.